All right. This wasn't planned. It never is. Nothing is ever planned around here. But it's gonna happen. We're gonna do it. So I was just sitting around thinking about the episode that I'm gonna be doing on Wednesday, and I was like, hey, there's a lot going on, and the Super Bowl is not going to be relevant tomorrow. So if I've got something to say about the Super Bowl, we might as well get it in today and get a couple more other things in while we're at it. So probably 2 newses this week, if not more, because there's a lot going on in the world. So we're just going to have a completely unreally planned. I've got plans, I've got things, but completely off the cuff, completely half-cocked episode here, and we're just going to chat about some news. So let's do that here in just a moment. Let's roll this intro, and ladies and gentlemen, let's get weird.
Well, I ask you, if we have to give these bastards our lives, we give them hell before we do!
The tragedy of our day is the climate of fear in which we live.
Talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing.
Ask the congressman to withdraw that comment and tell us that he didn't really mean that.
What I call nasty.
I don't know what I said. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The Bible commands that certain people be put to death.
Thieves were possessing weapons of mass destruction. 9/11 attacks were carried out by Al-Qaeda.
Handle the truth! I remember that with Matthew Moses. We are still here!
We have to say yes to socialism.
No, tomorrow.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
It's a big club. It's a big elitist club. A big elitist inbred club that keeps passing down the totem pole until we get what we've got, and you ain't in it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the least comfortable show on the web. It's The System Is Down, damn it, where we talk about all the uncomfortable topics like conspiracies, politics, religion, and all the shit that's going on in the news. We talked about that today. Before we do, welcome, come on in, get in the chats and give me some chats, give me something to talk about. But, yeah, a lot going on, and I didn't want to flood Wednesday's episode again and have it be another 3.5-hour episode. I'm not guaranteeing that it won't be, but maybe we can soften that that giant elephant one bite at a time by, covering a couple of these things here. But the Super Bowl happened yesterday, and also happy Valentine's Day and some shit to you guys. I've got my chocolates here. My lovely wife gave me some chocolates that probably cost her like $3. We don't really celebrate that, really. We did go ice skating. I know, very, very sappy of me, but we went ice skating on Saturday. But when it comes to the actual holiday of Valentine's Day, who gives a shit? Either love your spouse or don't love your spouse. And if you don't love them, maybe you should talk to them about it. Or check out our sponsors, BetterHelp.com. Have you been to BetterHelp? No, not really. They haven't sponsored, so it is what it is. We've got some things, but before we do the things, we got to do these things, and I think I still haven't updated this list, but today's episode is brought to you by y'all in the Downers Club, people like Pete R., Chris, Gremlin666, Gigi, Vaughn, Lisa Debus, Heffalum's Woozles, Dicky, Walnuts, Vanzad Media. We got Javari, we've got Ryan Mortensen, Michael something. Michael actually sent me a message and was like, "You always call me Mitchell when I read his first name and his last name. I always say Mitchell." And then they all kind of blend together, and he messaged me to let me know that I was reading his name wrong. But now I don't remember what his last name was, and I'm not going to go back and find out. But if you want to get your name on that list and possibly get it read improperly here on The System Is Down, go on over to patreon.com/The System Is Down and sign up for the Downers Club for as little as one super chat a month. One super chat a month, because YouTube does not allow me to super chat at all. They took that away from me a long time ago. So if you like this and you want to support this and you want more of this, go on over to patreon.com/The System Is Down, where you'll get more weird, more raw, more offensive, more weekly content. That is bonus episodes of the show in there. Go get it. All right. So we are also sponsored by, of course, Jack Casey, as always. I believe I'm going on David Fight's show sometime next week. Keep an eye out for that. But me and Jack Casey are both going to go on there and talk about, like, mysticism and libertarianism and stuff like that. So it should be a fun, interesting, and ridiculous time. Jack Casey's an awesome dude. He has the balls to support this show, so go support him at jackcaseybooks.com, where you can get things like Crowned by Gold in Silver Throned, The Royal Grain, and of course, as you know, WVW, his latest, which is a book so short, even I read it, but it was good. It was good and funny and offensive and all sorts of great things. Check it out. Check them all out at jackcaseybooks.com, because Jack Casey is Jack Casey. We are also sponsored by the latest sponsor, Matt Miller. Matt Miller's Liberty Portraits at libertyportraits.com. You can get all these wonderful pictures of different Liberty, I guess, people, Liberty heroes, Liberty icons, people like Mises, Rothbard, Ron Paul, lots of people. I'm not great at this yet. This is still a new one for me, but he does amazing work, and I'm probably going to order a couple prints myself. You can get prints there. You can hire him to do portraits of you and your family or something, and he does dog portraits even, but he said no cat portraits. And when I told him that if he did not allow cat portraits, that I would not allow him to sponsor the show, he quickly retracted, because the free market provides. Now you can get cat portraits, but they are double the cost. But you can get those and much, much more prints. He also does work at festivals, events, and stuff like that, painting things as they're happening in real time. Really cool dude, and he's a big fan of the show and supporter, so go support him at libertyportraits.com. Matt, I promise I'll get smoother as I get used to it stuff. So there's some stuff going on in the news, and of course we always start off with the good news, because the good news sets the tone for the rest of the show, so we can pull the rug out from under you when we actually get into the dark and apocalyptic stuff, which is the vast majority. Because what we do here is we, instead of just like watching CNN, we watch CNN together. We watch the different, anchors and outlets and everybody, all the corrupt people. We watch them flounder around, and we just kind of laugh at them, because when the world ends, what do you have left but laughter? Laugh at the king with us. So, we start out with the good news, and of course, the good news for today, if you haven't heard, is that the Delaware situation is, if you're not familiar, this big coup. We're not going to dig too deep into it today. I think we're going to have Dave Casey on to talk about this and co-host the news when we do it Wednesday. So tune in for that if you want the in-depth stuff. But this all went down, this corruption scandal between Delaware and Will McVeigh, who basically is from his own words, he committed a coup to do some shady shit and overthrow the Delaware Party, the Libertarian Delaware Party, and the LP National basically voted to say, you're not the real party, they're the real party, or something like that. We'll get the deep inside baseball stuff on Wednesday, but it's looking good. They have acknowledged, it seems, they've held a vote and acknowledged that the actual Delaware Party, not the coup Delaware corrupt party of Mandalorians, for people who are like new here and don't have any idea what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. If this sounds like absolute retarded buffoonery, you are correct. But this is good. They acknowledged it. Basically, they voted to acknowledge it. It seems, and there are people saying, "Oh, nothing's going to change because it's all going to be nothing can be done before Reno or whatever." So it's just going to all go on to there, and this means nothing. It means something, right? It means something if the party and their officials vote and declare somebody to be illegitimate who is illegitimate. That means something, and we'll see exactly what it means in the coming months in Reno, I would imagine, but it means something. Even if it doesn't mean much at the moment in our current standing, it's definitely going to mean something. But of course, I shared this from the Libertarian Party of Newcastle County. They're just thanking all the people, including yours truly, who supported them in this debacle. And I said, I would like to congratulate W. McVeigh on his newly appointed role of, quote, member in the LP at DVG Pod. Yes, Dave has a new Twitter because he got kicked off again. At DVG Pod, he may be an asshole, but he's our asshole. a duly elected asshole, which is always better than a corrupt authoritarian one. So, there's that. Congratulations and party noise for all the stuff that happened in Delaware. That's great. It's great. It's a step in the right direction, and it kind of doesn't mean a whole lot yet, but keep an eye out, guys, because stuff is happening, and it's looking promising. It's looking promising. I never count my eggs before they hatch, or ducks, or chickens, or whatever the hell the phrase is, but I'm cautiously optimistic about Reno. Let's just say that, because it's looking positive, but you never know. You never know. Even if people, get elected to certain positions in the party that will be beneficial, that doesn't mean some Will McVeigh isn't going to come sneak his ass in there and, find loopholes to steal parties and whatnot. But anyway, we'll talk about that more on Wednesday with Dave Casey. Let's talk about some other good things that happened in the world this week. This was a good thing, I think. CBS this morning had Mark Zuckerberg on, and I am 99% sure that this is real, and this happened in real life through Meta, Hail Meta. But I don't know. Did you guys see this? Okay. Well, here we go.
Do you have a favorite feature to use in here?
Yeah.
Something that you think is very cool?
Check this out.
Wow.
So that's pretty neat.
This is...
So this was sent to me, and somebody was like, are they trying to humanize the guy? Okay, for the audio listeners, they're in the metaverse. He's in the metaverse with What's-Her-Face from CBS. I don't know. I get them mixed up. But she says, "What do you have a favorite feature of Meta?" And he makes virtual breasts on himself and says that's pretty neat. And she's just like, oh, cool. And they go on with the conversation. What is this? What world are we living in? I know Mark Zuckerberg is in a different one, but the idea that this was... I mean, this doesn't just happen. This isn't just a feature. I would imagine it's not just a button that you press that puts boobs on you, but it's not just a feature, I would imagine. So there was a team of people that sat down and said, let's do this for shits and giggles and laughs, and this will help. This will make us look more normal and not creepy. And again, this image here is what they decided to go with. Now, I'm not 100% convinced this is real. I am pretty sure this is real. It was popping up everywhere. I think there's a good chance I'm being, tricked here by a troll. And if so, it's a good one. Can somebody confirm this, whether or not this is real, or if they just took a clip and then did that? I think that might, I don't know. I'm talking myself out of it. I found this clip in several places, and I couldn't find the original. But if somebody can find the original, please let me know if I'm making a fool of myself. But God bless the internet either way. And Hail Meta, of course. Now, there's even more good news. This happened. Nope, not that, because that button doesn't work. This happened this week. I'm sure you guys have seen this. This is the school in, I believe, Las Vegas or something, announcing that the kids no longer need to wear masks in school because they're dropping the mandates. And here is what went down.
Starting tomorrow, we don't have to wear masks anymore! Is anybody excited?
Now, we can watch that, and we can obviously... There's a lot of people that are like, oh, this is making me emotional, or whatever normal people say. This is making me emotional. I'm pretty sure that's how humans talk. Because these kids have been traumatized and tortured, blah, 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 and this is being used for political purposes. And of course, I am very happy that the mandates are being dropped, so don't get me wrong there. However, conservatives and libertarians and whoever... that are stoked for this, just know, for what it's worth, and it's not really worth anything, but just know this was probably staged. Like, these kids didn't just explode. Like, I understand people using this and being like, oh, doesn't this prove our point that masks were terrible? Masks were terrible. I absolutely 100% agree. But these kids did not just spontaneously combust into an explosion of joy just on a whim. I'm pretty sure. I would be willing to put money on, here's how the conversation went. Hey, guys, we're not going to have to wear masks soon. Isn't that great? Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, we're going to take a video and of you guys celebrating because this will be great PR. I'm not saying she was like looking to go viral or whatever, but it definitely worked. She definitely went viral. I'm guessing that conversation went something like that, and then we're going to take this video. Now, when I say this, you guys all cheer. I don't think it was like deceptive. I think it was like something that anybody would do, any teacher in that situation where they're like, this would be cute for our Facebook. Now, yes, it is cute for your Facebook, and it also, I believe, is false framing, because I'm not buying it. This is just me being a crotchety asshole, because even though something good happens, I'll still nitpick it. I'm not buying that all these kids just went from 0 to 100. Like they all, first off, we're talking about a classroom full of 9-year-olds? What are the odds that you're even able to get that classroom of 9-year-olds to sit quietly and pay attention normally, let alone get them all to react in the exact same way? Without missing a beat. Nobody went, wait, what'd she say? Or, excuse me, does that mean this? Like, asking questions. Of course they would ask questions. So yeah, just watch this again. Do you really think this is natural, or am I being an asshole?
Starting tomorrow, we don't have to wear masks anymore.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. It's great. It's awesome. And also, I don't believe you. I don't. Let's see what we got in the chats. CD says, hey, David Bradley. Happy Valentine's Day. Yes. Hey, David Bradley. And hey, CD. The Road to Providence with David Bradley says, hey, happy Valentine's Day. TK says, heartbreaking to see such excitement over such a fundamental freedom they weren't told about. I absolutely agree with you. And I absolutely agree with you. I've already said my piece. In other good news, this guy is still the president of the United States. Let's see if this plays.
I mean, excuse me.
Hold up.
There's no way we were ever going to unite Ukraine. I mean, excuse me, Iraq, Afghanistan. No way that was going to happen.
So, yeah, he's still alive. And that's not troubling to see the man who is currently, poking us into a third world war, not being able to remember the difference between Afghanistan, Ukraine, and I don't know what else he said. Russia? Whatever. Speaking of complete and utter bullshit and buffoonery, the DEA will ban chemicals now contained in kratom, a popular herbal supplement. So that brings us to our other sponsor that I haven't mentioned in a while. You can get a free ounce of kratom right now at freeounceofkratom.com before the government gets rid of it. I'm not going to, push you on, the Delta 8 THC or anything like that, which you can get 5% off your order if you use the promo code TSID. But just go, try kratom. You don't have to, but just go get it right now, because why not? Why not have something that's going to be illegal tomorrow? And then you can try it whenever you feel like. No peer pressure here. I think you got to be over 21 or 18 or something. I don't care. Be the legal age to do it, but then go do it because it's about to be gone. Just throwing that in there. freeounceofkratom.com. Try some kratom because it is great. I think it's great. I'm not drinking it right now. I'm actually drinking coffee. Instant crappy coffee, and I do have a yerba mate here. We'll see if we get that far. We'll see if it's necessary. This is probably not going to be I probably won't be doing an after party today. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. We'll see how long it goes. But I've got a hard out at 6. So in about an hour, we split whether I'm done or not. The DEA is bullshit. That's pretty much it. They've been trying to ban kratom for a while, and they'll do everything that they can to do so because they don't like it. They don't like things that are positive and happy in the world that you can, grow and enjoy. So, moving right along, as I said, it is Valentine's Day, and speaking of drugs, the ATF came out today with this beautiful, heartwarming Valentine's Day statement. They said Valentine's Day this is from at ATFHQ, the official ATF Twitter. I believe it is blue check marked, so yes. Valentine's Day can still be fun even if you broke up. Do you have information about a former or current partner involved in illegal gun activity? Let us know, and we will make sure it's a Valentine's Day to remember. Call 1-888-ATF-TIPS or email atftips@atf.gov. This is the government for you, ladies and gentlemen. We can celebrate a day that was already too gross by making it more gross. Like, good God, this is our government, a branch of our government going out and saying, "Hey, happy Valentine's Day, everyone." Now, if your significant other broke up with you, call us and let us know if they have guns. Ruin their lives. Over, what is it, red flag laws? Yeah. Okay. Now, there were some people who responded, of course. People like Tim Pool says, abolish the ATF. This was going around today. Abolish the ATF from Justin Amash, which was great, of course. Let's read a couple more. The Fall of Ideals 15-year celebration tour says, holy fucking shit, the ATF is encouraging people to SWAT their ex and calling it fun. Exactly. That's exactly what they're doing. The ATF wants to snitch on your ex so they can bust down the door and shoot, blah, blah, blah. Yep, Spike was here somewhere. Spike had a good one. Go find it. I don't have it here. I don't have it pulled up. Gun Owners of America says, is the tip line open for reports of gun running into Mexico? Oh, right. That was the ATF. And Spike's was something similar, but focused on Waco. Of course, Spike always has the great SnapX on all these things. In other news, keeping this thing going, speaking of what? Speaking of drugs, I don't know. Kanye West has been in the news because Kanye West is Kanye West, and that's all it takes to be newsworthy, is Kanye West being Kanye West. But Kanye West, this is from, nope, not that button. This is from uprocks.com, so you know it's legit. Kanye West says he won't put Kid Cudi on Donda 2. And Cudi called him a dinosaur in response. So Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, this is just the soap opera of celebrity inbred whatever elitists. Just touching base and see what's happening with the stories. So Kanye West and Kim Kardashian broke up, and Kim Kardashian got with Pete Davidson, and now Kanye West is on a rampage to destroy anybody who is associated with Pete Davidson, basically. He wrote that song that had a line about kicking Pete Davidson's ass that came out a couple weeks ago. And now he's saying that he won't work with Kid Cudi because Kid Cudi is connected to Pete Davidson. He's friends with Pete Davidson. That's pretty much it. This is what we're supposed to care about. I don't really care about it. I find it interesting. Like, these are interesting headlines, but anything past the headline, it's like, who cares? Who cares what these people are doing? Like, who cares if Kid Cudi is calling Kanye West a fucking dinosaur? It's interesting and it's funny, but that's about it. It says, quote, everyone knows I've been the best thing about your album since I met you. That's Kid Cudi talking to Kanye West, saying that he's the best thing that Kanye West has ever been associated with, essentially. Who cares? In other Kanye news, Kanye West calls out Billie Eilish. So Travis Scott, if you guys recall, got a bunch of people killed by not stopping his show. And then Billie Eilish this week said a thing about Travis Scott, and it wasn't even about Travis Scott. She just said, get this girl an inhaler, and then said something like, save people at your shows. She didn't even say Travis Scott's name. And now Kanye West is threatening to, boycott Coachella. God, who cares about any of this? Threatening to boycott Coachella if Billie Eilish doesn't apologize to Travis Scott. So Kanye West is coming to Travis Scott's defense. What do you make of this? This love triangle or whatever? This is the most 2022 headline or story, basically, of Kanye West threatening to boycott Coachella because Billie Eilish made a joke, a very nothing joke about Travis Scott. Of course, Billie Eilish said she has no idea what he's talking about. She was just helping a fan. This is all stupid. And this is what our society has come to, caring about this. Yes, Travis will be with me. So there's some back and forth on Travis Scott going to Coachella as well, even though he is not on the current roster, because Kanye West said that he's going to take him there. But he'll only do it if Billie Eilish, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Who cares? Speaking of who cares, and speaking of all the elitists and the rappers and everything, you know where this is going. Did y'all hear about the sports? Did you hear the sports thing? I heard the sports thing. I saw the sports thing. I was there when it happened. You saw when Eminem pulled out, I think it was Beyonce's boob or something, and her nipple had a pasty on it. That was really weird. No, that didn't happen this year. Tune in next year. But the Super Bowl halftime show, if you've been following this show for a while, you know that we talk about conspiracies and stuff like that, symbolism and things in the Super Bowl halftime show. I'll be completely honest with you. Didn't really see any. Didn't really see anything that stood out. There wasn't a whole lot to it. It was basically one big glowing trailer park with 50 Cent hanging upside down for some reason in the most awkward transition I've seen in live television. But it is always funny to watch these halftime shows knowing that, these people aren't actually singing, they're lip syncing. They're basically Macy's Day Parade performers, but on a Super Bowl field because, they can't possibly be bothered to hook up a mic. I mean, we're talking about just rappers, just vocalists. It's funny watching it because there's the instrumentalists are playing and they're plugged into something, and it's like this. It would have been like if they were plugged in. It would have been like the most elaborately wired together thing. It would have been absolutely ridiculous because they've got like a grand piano that's not mic'd up to anything. They've got a drummer that's not mic'd up or anything. It's very well rehearsed. It was a fun show, but I'm sure none of them were actually saying things into microphones, or at least that's not what we were hearing. But I digress. Excuse me. There was the thing with all the rappers. The Super Bowl halftime show was just a bunch of rappers, and by just a bunch of rappers, I mean it was a bunch of rappers. It was Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Dr. Dre, what's his name, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige. I guess not. She's not really a rapper, but whatever. She fits. And one other. Who am I forgetting? 50 Cent. So all these rappers. I frankly was kind of offended by the extreme lack of diversity in the Super Bowl halftime show. It seemed like there was a lot of racial exclusion, if you will. No, I'm kidding. I don't give a shit. But the internet would have you believe that lots of people really, really care about this for some racial and political whatever reasons. They want you to think that has anything to do with this or people not liking this. I haven't seen a single person in real life. Like, I've seen all these people saying everybody's pissed off about the halftime show because they're racists. What I haven't seen are the people that are pissed off about the halftime show. I've just seen a whole lot of people coming to the defense of the halftime show against some imaginary racists that they assume are out there. And if the people who are mad at the imaginary racists, like if they're coming to that conclusion and assuming that people would be mad, maybe it could be you. Maybe it's your internalized racism or whatever that is leading you to assume that everybody's pissed off that there were black people in the Super Bowl halftime show. Like, this is something new. I mean, sure, there might have been people that are like, I don't like rap music, so this isn't for me. I for one, happen to like rap music, so I enjoyed it very much. And people are also trying to pretend like anybody cares that, what's his name, Eminem, took a knee during his segment. So all these people come out and they're like, I don't know, show of force for Black Lives Matter or whatever, which mostly just Eminem. I think Eminem is really the only one who had any fist in the air or taken a knee or any real political thing of any kind. I didn't even notice that Eminem took a knee until I saw it on the internet this morning. But a lot of people are like, oh, Eminem took a knee, and a lot of people are pissed off about it. Who are they? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about Eminem's political stance. We either like his music because we like his music, and a lot of us might be annoyed by his political stance and his pandering and his attempting to stoke outrage, because that's all you're doing. Like, at this point, the taking the knee, it only has to do with Colin Kaepernick. I almost said Travis Scott. It only has to do with Colin Kaepernick. We took away the whole police brutality thing. If you haven't noticed, certain folks in certain parties are kind of backpedaling their way out of the whole abolish the police narrative, and now they're just like, oh, no, we're taking stances for washed up NFL players who are spokespeople for Nike and support, I guess, Chinese slavery and sweat shops, whatever. So Eminem did this halftime, whatever, dropping a knee thing that I completely missed, and that's it. It looks like he's just doing a dramatic pose, but apparently not. And now, why this matters isn't because he did it. It's because of things like this. This is from theguardian.com, so you know it's super legit. The NFL denies it tried to stop Eminem from taking knee at the Super Bowl halftime show. So rumor has it that the NFL tried preventing this from happening. They told him not to take a knee at the Super Bowl halftime show. Maybe they did, but I don't like care. So of course this is this is an attempt to try and paint the NFL as racist, even though they are, predominantly a black sport, very predominantly a black sport, or predominantly black athletes in the NFL. I am pretty sure. My NFL knowledge is fairly limited, but it seems like there's a few people so they're kind of trying to paint the NFL in this racist light because they allegedly, hypothetically, might have told Eminem not to take a knee. That doesn't even, it doesn't even compute. It doesn't even calculate why they would have told Eminem to not take a knee, unless he was, belligerently saying, I'm going to take a knee and screw you guys. I mean, I'm sure it all has to be, I'm sure every, second of this has to be staged out. But I would guess more likely, if the NFL knew that this was going to happen, they probably didn't give a shit. And they shouldn't give a shit, because nobody really cares about Eminem taking a knee. But, yeah, they paint it out to be this big important deal, and they're painting the NFL into some racist box or something. While, how can you say that the NFL is racist? Not just the athletes, the percentage, the lack of diversity, let's say, in the NFL, as far as higher percentage of black players, I would imagine. But look at the percentage of artists in this halftime show. You're talking about literally one white dude, the whole thing, and he's got his hood pass. We know that. More power to him. One white dude takes a knee, and we're supposed to pretend like the NFL is racist after having almost all 99.9% black participation of artists playing hip hop music for the NFL Super Bowl halftime show. But they're racist for this made up thing that we made up. I don't want to spend too much time on this because, like I said, I don't think anybody cares. I don't think anybody's buying this. I don't think anybody's into this anymore. This race baiting bullshit. And it's great that nobody cares anymore. I don't know, if we're to believe that if we're to believe that this is I don't know. I'll save that thought. So from Newsweek.com, so you know it's legit. What I prefer is the debate that has been going on around this that has nothing to do with politics. I saw Tim Pool talking about this earlier today, which I thought was kind of funny, that he spent an entire segment talking about the debate between Gen Xers and millennials and boomers battling over who owned the Super Bowl. It's funny to me, and well, I love Tim. I think he's great, but he spent an entire segment talking about, this shows that, all these artists are, Kendrick Lamar is the youngest one. He's 34, and the rest of them are in their 50s and 60s or whatever. I think maybe 50s. I think late 50s. Probably the eldest, but he's like, this was clearly evidence that millennials are self-entitled and they think the world revolves around them. Because none of these people in the halftime show were millennials. Okay. Can we just focus on the important thing here? And the important thing here is this is like old normal debate. Like, this is some beautiful mundanity that has nothing to do with COVID, has nothing to do with race. And quite frankly, I think that the halftime show was, I would say that the fact that nobody is actually really concerned about, the racist. So from what I've witnessed, it seems like nobody is really concerned that there was a bunch of, hip hop dudes doing the halftime show. Nobody cares. We all liked it. If we're like this racist country, why do we all like black culture so much that Aquafina is getting canceled because she talks black? Like, I don't know. I'm just not buying it. It's all fake. It's all staged. It's all made up. But this Gen X versus Millennials versus Boomer battle, I don't know how Boomers even play into this. Like, the Boomers are complaining that they don't understand what the halftime show was, so I don't know how you're going to claim that they're really weighing in other than I don't like it. But, Gen Xers and Millennials debating over who owns this music, who this music is for, and then Boomers not understanding it. That's the kind of disputes that I miss, frankly. So if we can focus on that more and not the racial stuff or the millennial stuff and the stupid stuff, that'd be great. Please, let's keep debating about this stupider stuff, because that's probably what, the hope that our country needs. Caring about basically, our culture. This is our shared culture. Like, not mine, because I don't care about the Super Bowl, but like black people, white people, brown people, all sorts of people like sports and like the Super Bowl, like they're bred in circuses. You don't have to be a specific anything to like that. So can we all just come together and be like, hey, let's argue about stupid stuff here, and all just enjoy that some of our favorite artists from back in the day, whether they were ours or the generation before us, doesn't really matter. Just shut up. Shut up, guys. Shut up. Yeah, and I also wanted to bring this up. This was the racist poll that I put up earlier today. It's currently sitting at 15 to 84%. So the poll is the lack of the lack of racial diversity in the Super Bowl halftime show is, and then the two options are upsetting or refreshing. So you see, what I've done here is, if you respond to this, you have to be a racist by today's standards. If you respond to this at all, because lacking diversity in a Super Bowl halftime show, that's usually something that's supposed to make us upset. It makes but it's made everybody here refreshed. They're all refreshed because there's a lack of racial diversity. I would imagine everybody who clicked refreshing is understanding of the joke. I enjoyed it. I don't care what the percentage is of black people versus white people, and I wouldn't have changed a thing other than maybe less hookers, because I'm not a fan of the strippers for family entertainment. But that and who cares? I didn't even see Eminem do his pandering. But yeah, if you find it upsetting, then you're a racist because it was predominantly black people. But if you find it refreshing, then also you're a racist because it was lacking diversity. So there's that. Anyway, continuing on. What are we at for time here? Oh, we're good. We still got a bit. So, what do we got in the chats? Anybody in here? Anybody watching? I know I didn't give you guys any forewarning of this because I didn't even really have myself convinced that I was going to do this today. Let's see. CD says, nope, not that. That's a part of a conversation that I'm not going to read through. TK says, I caught a NASCAR event on TV the other day. Had Ice-T performance. Started out kind of awkward. Yeah, I could imagine. Ice-T opening for NASCAR is an interesting combination. CD says, literally just talking about this. And can we please discuss the narrative when white, black, brown, and every hue in between we are jamming to black people music? Yes. That's kind of my point. I'm not great at making points sometimes because I talk in ADHD circles. But yes, the idea that we're all enjoying what is, it just is black people music. Like even people that, I mean, there's people that didn't like Eminem because he was invading black culture, and there's still hip hop artists. Who was it? Was it what's his nuts? The one dude that hosts all the kids shows, basically. Nick Cannon. I think it was him that said that Eminem's in the house of hip hop, or he's invaded or whatever, and giving him shit for being white. So this is black culture here, and we're all just like, hell yeah, let's enjoy this together. And there's still people out there that are like, let's make this a race issue. There's like 5 people in the country that didn't enjoy this. They're all boomers that don't even understand what they just watched because they've never heard this music before. They think it's just a bunch of hoodlums, like Eminem supporters or whatever. Yeah, we're all just jamming to this thing, all enjoying it, and still people are going to make a thing out of it. Kind of like I'm doing, so whatever. I can be a hypocrite. It's my show. Speaking of hypocrites, because it's their show, CNN. Super Bowl attendees give masks must wear them unless eating, drinking, says public health director. So the masks were given out, of course, at the Super Bowl, and guess how many people gave a shit? Well, I don't know. Probably some people were enforced. It was enforced on, but not all people. There was some who didn't seem to mind not wearing the mask at all. Here's a couple of them.
We're in Hollywood. Who do we got here? We got Jay-Z, Matt Damon, Charlize Theron is here, LeBron, Jennifer and Ben, Emmett Smith.
There you go. There's my kind of celebrity.
Yeah, now we're talking. I mean,
Yep, a whole bunch of elitists, again, not doing the thing that they know they're supposed to do and the thing that they champion. People like LeBron James, Jay-Z, and all these people. I don't really care anymore. Like, if you're on the side of no mask, please just fucking say so. Please just say it. I don't want to call you a hypocrite. I would rather you just be not for the mask mandates anymore. If you could stop pretending, then I will stop calling you complete and utter charlatan assholes. And yes, CD says, speaking of boomers, that Coinbase ad was hilarious. Yes, I know the ad that you're talking about. It was like, if you missed it, go look it up. But it was like a DVD screen with a QR code in the middle just bouncing around. And it gets up to the corner and then just stays there. And the QR code went to Coinbase. Brilliant. I haven't seen it myself, but I heard about it in detail. And some of the most brilliant marketing I've heard in a good while, actually, because they paid millions of dollars just to have that moment where it sticks in the corner and everybody cheered. If you know, you know. The kids today might not know. That's how you know that it was for millennials and not Gen Xers, because DVDs are our generation, bitch. Desiree Holden says, yo, have you checked out Samson's Sixth Sense? No. Is that a movie by M. Night Shyamalan? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. So, yeah, what were we talking about? Oh, the masks and stuff. Nobody's wearing them, and good, but also stop being complete and utter assholes. The Super Bowl is racist, no matter what they do. No matter how many millions and billions of dollars they give to people of all shapes, sizes, and colors, doesn't matter. They're going to be racist forever and ever. Amen. Speaking of racist, we got to get an update on Joe Rogan. Have you heard of this guy, Joe Rogan? He was like a podcaster, and it's interesting that the podcaster is the biggest podcaster in the entire world, and we're calling him a racist, even though most of the world, I guess that's not fair. Not most of the world likes him, but everybody who listens to podcasts, the majority of people who listen to podcasts enjoy a racist. So, sorry, we do live in an entirely racist society, and nobody can be trusted anymore. But here's the latest clip from Joe Rogan. Let me refresh this to make sure it's going to work. Here is Joe Rogan. Play, damn it.
That important legislators in defeating the Nunes plan in the basement said, quote, "We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots." And the court cited evidence of discriminatory intent on the part of other...
Hold up. That's the wrong clip. Sorry. That's not Joe Rogan. That's our president of the United States, the Honorable Joseph R. Biden, who is too big to fail and cannot be canceled. But whatever. That's in the past, right? Nobody cares about Joe Biden's past. That doesn't matter, even though he's like enacted racist policies and busing and racial junk. We've talked about all the things. You know, if you don't, just do like a 20-second search on racist things Joe Biden has said, and you're gonna find a lot. Here's the very extreme right-wing things that the Honorable President Joe Rogan has said. However, let's see what he says. Right wing.
I really believe if Michelle Obama runs, she wins. She's good. She's great. She's the wife of the best president that we have had in our lifetime. I've never voted right wing in my life. I consider universal basic income a really good idea. I want free college education. Take it easy. Hello, Bernie.
How are you, Joe?
Wonderful. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I like Tulsi and I like Bernie. That's it.
Oh, yeah?
Everybody else can eat shit.
Look at you, fucking progressive.
Yeah. I think I'll probably vote for Bernie. I think he's looking out for the interests of the working people. And I think he wants people to have a better life and do better. And I'm all for that. And if that means I have to pay more in tax, like people think, oh, you're a socialist. I've heard people say that. Oh, you're a fucking socialist, bro. Like, first of all, he's not even a socialist. He's a democratic socialist. It's a different thing. I would like to spend more in taxes if they could fix inner city communities and take these poor neighborhoods and throw a fuckload of them. Spend more, you fucking Republican piece of shit. 87% of scientists said that human activity is driving global warming. I'm very pro-choice. I'm very women's rights, civil rights, gay rights, trans rights. I'm even universal health care. Obviously, this protected status is driving me crazy. This thing that Trump's doing with children that were born in other countries and then brought over here as children, and then they're talking about deporting them. That drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's
that kind of shit. And the hard right version of that is despicable. These people that I see online, why didn't they apply for citizenship? Oh, who knows? Maybe because they're fucking 13. I don't give a fuck if they broke the law. You don't take parents and kids and separate them. You just fucking don't. You know Alonzo?
No, who's that?
A funny comedian.
Yeah.
He goes, not all Donald Trump supporters are racist, but all racists are Donald Trump supporters.
He definitely awakened that side.
But the January 6th thing is important.
See, it is important, but is it the 6 months later? It should be the ruling number one conversation of journalists?
I think it's really important. And one of the reasons why I think it's important because it highlights the reasons why a guy like Donald Trump is so fucking dangerous. Is because of...
So I just want to let that all play. So you see the clear evil right-wing extremist rhetoric that Joe Rogan has used in the past. It is important to point out. Now, I will say that in reality here, not speaking sarcastically, I disagree with almost literally every single thing that Joe Rogan just said, because that's how conversation works, and that's how opinions work. You can't just paint a broad brush, paint with a N-word brush over Joe Rogan because he said one word once. That doesn't make him a right-winger. And for those that are still calling him a right-winger just because it works really well for their narrative, I hope that this has shed some light on the truth about how much of a racist, bigoted, right-wing, Trump-supporting asshole Joe Rogan is. Of course, as we've talked about way too much on here, Joe Rogan keeps apologizing for things that he shouldn't be apologizing for. So, as I said on last week's episode, I don't remember if it was in the main episode or the bonus, if you are going to apologize, like, I don't think apologizing is just bad in general. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think humbling yourself and being able to admit when you're wrong is a good thing. And if you come to that conclusion on your own, then great, apologize. But apologizing because somebody is screaming at you, apologize, or you're a racist and we're going to destroy you, give them the middle finger and go about your day. Joe Rogan did not do that, even though he could have. He decided to apologize, and definitely not because of that. Definitely not related to that. Damn it, I clicked the wrong thing again. Definitely not because of that. We've got stuff like this. Joe Rogan won't be on UFC 271 broadcast as controversy lingers. Now, some people are saying that the controversy, or him not doing this, has nothing to do with the controversy. obviously the New York Post is trying to frame it up as being related. I would guess that it probably is related, and he probably has an agreement with UFC and like between the two of them where if I had to guess, they're probably just like, hey, we don't want to bring like the controversy into this field right now. Just maybe take a break for a bit and come back later. I don't know how these things work. I don't know how his contract with UFC works or anything, but he's taking a break from them. They're saying, like the New York Post, fuck them. They're obviously lying. They're saying basically the same thing that I am, but I think it does have to do with controversy. But from what I hear, Joe Rogan has said that it has nothing to do with controversy. It's just scheduling conflicts. I find that hard to believe, to be completely honest. Let me know in the comments. What do y'all think? Looks like we've got some new peeps up in here. Let's see what we've got. Hot Wheels Flawed Squad. And Hangover Gang for Life. What? Represent your boy. Says classic with laughing faces. I don't know. I don't check the things in real time. I'm not a robot, but I appreciate them. Desiree Holden says, yeah, word doesn't define you as a whole, nor should your career be canceled. Yes. Desiree also says, let the fans or people decide if they want to watch their show or listen to their music or buy their, yes, free open markets. This is not a new concept, not a new premise, but I mean, there were people like Ron Paul talking about these things way back before you were born, and before I was born, and before his son Rand Paul. That's just my clunky segue into the next article here, but even before his son Randy Pants was born. So we're going to talk about the truckers a little bit. The truckers gonna truck, yo. Up in Canada, they're still trucking away, and there's some people that are trying to say that they're not trucking away. I'm not sure what to think. I don't know. Look into it or whatever. See what's going on. Maybe some people have disbanded or whatever, but it seems like for the most part things are standing strong. God bless them. But let's just read. This is from James Sirwood something. He says, Rand Paul demanded that the FBI investigate and arrest people for, quote, inciting a riot because of a crowd of people, a crowd of people yelled at him and his wife. Actually, okay, so he's saying that in response to this clip of Rand Paul talking about the Canadians.
I'd love to talk about this freedom convoy, the Canadian truckers who are protesting vaccine mandates for drivers who will be crossing the border. We just heard this morning that there's a potential that there will be such a convoy in Los Angeles about the Super Bowl, and perhaps one later in D.C. What do you make of all this?
I'm all for it. Civil disobedience. Civil disobedience is a time-honored tradition in our country, from slavery to civil rights to you name it. Peaceful protest, clog things up, make people think about the mandates.
So that's what he said, and people got mad just because they don't like Rand Paul and they don't like that he attacks the king. I'm not a diehard Rand Paul supporter or anything, but on this COVID stuff, he has been the absolute best person in Congress, and yeah. So this person is responding by saying, hey, this is the guy who called the FBI or had the FBI investigate people after an incited riot. If I recall correctly, it was him and his wife leaving a thing where they were supporting, or he wrote the Breonna Taylor bill, and people didn't understand that he was actually in support of the Breonna Taylor her in the case, and thinks that was wrong. And people were pissed off because he was doing anything because they just don't like Rand Paul, and they were mobbing him as an individual. Now, I'm not sure how that relates to Canadian truckers. This guy seems to think that because Rand Paul feared for his safety after that scenario and after being attacked in his own front yard while mowing his lawn and having ribs broken, and I believe he was part of, I believe he was there when there was that shooting or something, right? On a field or something. I don't remember. So he's had some hard times, Rand Paul, and he has reason to be concerned about his safety. He's been literally attacked on multiple occasions, and or at least one, and it was pretty bad. And for him to be like, hey, I don't want people, rioting, and I don't even know. I don't remember fully, whatever. If he called for an FBI investigation and arrests, and if it was just people gathering and shouting in his face, I think that I would disagree with him on that. Maybe call your security team and say, hey, we'll soup this up, but who gives a shit? Who gives? It has nothing at all to do with truckers in Canada sitting in the road. The difference here is that some people are being violent and some people are sitting in trucks and being in the way, which is annoying to people like Chancellor Trudeau. So there's that. Let me see. Oh, the Ontario. Okay, so more on the truckers. This is from Andrew Lawton. Don't know who that is, but we're gonna see what he has to say. Breaking: the Ontario government says it has effectively frozen all donations made by the trucker convoy through. Oh yeah, this is the Give, Send, Go thing. So there was the whole GoFundMe thing that we talked about last week, I think, and maybe we didn't. Maybe we forgot to talk about it. But GoFundMe was taking money from, or taking, people were trying to send money to support the trucker convoy and all that, and GoFundMe took the money and said, we're not going to send it to them because they're bad people. They're no people. They stand for bad things like freedom. They said, instead, we're not going to give the money back. We're just going to give it to charities of the trucker's choice. First off, bullshit, obviously. And second off, you don't get to just take the money and redistribute it like some commie bullshit right there. We're not going to do the thing that we told you that you're paying for through our website. We're not going to do that. We're going to redistribute your wealth to somebody that we feel needs it more than the people you're trying to give it to. Absolutely fraudulent, absolute bullshit. So a bunch of people started, calling back, or whatever it's called when you ask for the money back, and it was giving them like a $15 ding every time somebody like called it back. So eventually they had to go, whoa, okay, we're gonna give the money back. Please stop doing this, because they were getting swamped with these charges, and you would think lawsuits. You would think. Now, Give, Send, Go was, I guess, a Canadian, I think, a Christian site that was set up to do the same thing, take funds for and give it to the truckers in this convoy. And the Ontario government said, nah, we're not having that because, super free Canada, super free. Quote, the Attorney General brought an application in the Superior Court of Justice for an order pursuant to Section 490 of the Criminal Code, prohibiting any person from disposing of or otherwise dealing with in any manner whatsoever, and any and all monetary donations made through the Freedom Convoy 2022, and adopt a trucker campaign pages on the Give, Send, Go online fundraising platform this afternoon. The order was issued. It binds any and all parties with possession of control over these donations. So I'll just take it. That's your government representation right there. Not only do they take your tax dollars and not do what you hired them to do with your tax dollars, zero representation at all, to the extent that even if you willingly give tax dollars to a charity, they will say, no, you're not allowed to give to that charity. Why? Because it, spanks the king's bottom a little bit harder than we would like it to. And of course, we've got the man himself, Mr. Trudeau. I personally move for a vote of no confidence in Chancellor Trudeau's leadership, but I am an American, and this is not my country. The federal government, this comes from cbc.ca, so you know it's legit. Federal government invokes Emergencies Act for the first time ever in response to protests. Act grants cabinet ability to take, quote, special temporary measures that may not be appropriate in normal times. So we're just like using these very, I don't know, really bad, what's the word? Just very vague terminology, like we're going to do bad things that might not normally be acceptable or appropriate. There's for all the representing you that your government does, they do have these loopholes where they just have things called like the Emergencies Act, which just says, fuck it, do whatever you want. And apparently this can be applied if such extreme measures happen, like truckers sitting in a road. Now, if I lived there, I would certainly be annoyed by the truckers if they were in the way and preventing me from functioning in my day-to-day life, but nothing that they're doing is violent. So Trudeau came out and said that he was, maybe I have the clip. We'll wait and see if I have the clip, but let's see what else we got here. Quote, "It is now clear that there are serious challenges to law enforcement's ability to effectively enforce law," Trudeau told a news conference Monday afternoon. Yeah. Reasonable and proportionate to the threats. Okay. So, yeah, he's making a lot of veiled threats, and apparently he met with Biden as well, and they were making some plans, colluding, I guess, to silence Canadians. I'm not sure how that works exactly or why he would go to Biden, but of course Biden would be on his side. Quote, "This is about keeping Canadians safe, protecting people's jobs, and restoring confidence in our institutions," said Trudeau. Do I have that clip? No, I didn't pull it up. Damn it. He just gives out, like, Trudeau's given these, like, veiled threats of, like, or not so veiled threats of, like, hey, you could lose your job and things are going to get harder for you and you will regret this, basically. And this is paraphrasing, so don't quote me or whatever. But he did say something to the effect of, "We've heard you. Now it's time to go home. We've heard you. You came, you did your thing, and we've heard you. Now fuck right off. Fuck on home. Eh?" Like, the balls on this dude. He comes out and he's like, we have heard you. Now it's time to go home. This is over. Like, he's just, it's like George W. Bush saying, or declaring victory. "We did it. Mission accomplished. Good job." Like, "We've heard you" means nothing. Yes, the goal was to be heard, but the real goal was, the only value in being heard is if something changes. That was the real point here. You know that, right? We weren't just, like, looking for an audience in this. We wanted some actual fucking changes. And Trudeau acting like he's the victim here. It's like, bud, you're trying too hard with the Emergencies Act. Seriously, like, everybody else is backing off this thing. The UK is backing off now, even. The UK is ahead of us. Everyone is ahead of us. And by us, I mean, you know, us and the northern, our hat. All of us are kind of behind on this one, it would seem. But even a lot of blue states seem to be opening back up. And Trudeau could just say, "Given the new evidence that we've received," like everybody else, "given the new evidence, we've looked it over and we've come to the conclusion that we don't need these mandates any longer," which is, of course, absolute bullshit. Not in that we don't need the mandates, but that there's new evidence to prove that, because we've been pointing to this evidence for the last 2 years. But yes, Trudeau could just come out and say, "Okay, fine. Like, if this is about health, safety, and security and getting back to normal life and having a good economy and blah, 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 he could end this real easily. We're talking about truckers, people who sit in their trucks by themselves most of the time. Why are they under this heavy scrutiny to begin with? They interact with, like, 3 people a day, most of them, I would imagine. The dude at the Piggly Wiggly gas station or something, and, you know, the person they're loading and unloading from. That's about it. I know, I did it for a hot minute. But, yeah, we're focusing on the truckers. And we're also focusing, of course, still on schools. A lot of people are. For some reason, while all these states are lifting their mandates, they're like, no more mandates, except for the least vulnerable among us, the children. I even had we had somebody locally. I don't remember which school, and I don't have it pulled up, but we had somebody locally who my wife sent to me. He posted his school, like, opened back up. They lifted the mandates and all that, and he posted, "Hey, we're gonna go long and not have the mandates, but you better dress warm because our windows are gonna be open in my class, and just remember that blankets and coats aren't allowed in class." That's for your health and safety. That's for your health, safety, education. That's because we care about your children. That asshole teachers can be vindictively, intentionally making children's lives more miserable in, like, 14-degree weather, leaving the windows open because he has a political point to make, and he's going to make it on children. That's what this has been for the last 2 years, and there are some people that are just so absolutely, I would say brainwashed. I will say brainwashed, because I don't think anybody is intentionally, like, I don't think anybody is born this evil. I believe in original sin and all that, but I don't think anybody's born as the type of person who wants to torture children. Like, I mean, that's kind of what it is. If you're saying you're going to have to sit in an hour-long class in 14-degree weather just because I'm mad, fuck you. That is torture. So is the mask. Bullshit. Quit your job, dude. Go home. Nobody wants you. If that is the type of logic that you come to in your life, after everything that we've witnessed, after everything that we've gone through in the stupid fucking pandemic, that you come to the conclusion that the only way for you to be safe is to have the windows open because, fresh air circulates so rapidly that no kid could possibly sneeze on him. It's just going to go straight out the window, right? That, like, let's set aside the child abuse. You're an idiot. You shouldn't be teaching children to begin with. Oh, Lord. Anyway, where were we? I saw this this week, and I don't know, like, are people disbanding? Are people moving away from this trucker thing? Are they going home? I don't really care. But the dailybeast.com, it's legit, says trucker convoy disappeared with peaceful whimper on U.S.-Canada border. Why I bring this up isn't because I care about what the Daily Beast has to say about anything at all. It's because even if these people do decide to leave, we already can see what they're going to do. They're going to smear them the whole way out, or they're going to mock them and ridicule them for standing up for freedom. Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech seems like, freedom of speech and freedom of autonomy and all those things seem like things that would be important to journalists like the Daily Beast, who claims to be journalists. But no. Whether or not the truckers are disbanding, I'm not entirely sure because it's hard to even know. Maybe I'll pull up a live feed here in a bit and we'll see if they've disbanded. But they've shown their hand already. They're going to, and this should come as no surprise. If they stay, then they're Nazis and racists and bigots and transphobes and homophobes and whatever phobes, like completely fabricated things for sitting in their trucks. And if they decide to leave, it's going to be called a peaceful whimper, and they're not going to. This is why you don't apologize, Joe Rogan. It's because they don't care about you. They care about their own power and their own branding and message and popularity. They care about being. They don't care about Joe Rogan. They don't care about what Joe Rogan does or doesn't say. They care about whether or not they have the ability to stop Joe Rogan from saying what he's going to say. They don't care what it is. They just want to know that they have the power, and they want you to know. And they will go to lengths to make sure you're aware. And if you capitulate to that, Joe, you end up with the smears. I'm not sure how we got back on Joe Rogan, but whatever. We're going to wrap it up because I'm doing a short one. Yes, an hour and 15 minutes is a short one. If you're new here, you might think that's long, and I applaud you for sticking through it, but just wait till Wednesday. This is, let me see. Sorry, I pulled up a link, and I don't remember what it was. Oh, the Ambassador Bridge. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Let's just watch this. I apparently at some point in the last week thought this was relevant or something, so we'll find out together. Here we go. Oh, here they are disbanding, I'm pretty sure. They're blocking the bridge so people can't get in and out. I'm not sure if there's anything here. Okay. The bridge accommodates 27% of about $400 billion in annual trade between the U.S. and Canada. So, people aren't happy that they're, successfully stopping the flow of the economy, which was kind of the point, to show how needed truckers are and how much of a problem truckers can be if you fuck with truckers. This says, this is from Juliet Kayem, whoever that is. The convoy protest applauded by right-wing media as a freedom protest is an economic and security issue now. The Ambassador Bridge link constitutes 28% of annual trade movement between U.S. and Canada. Slash the tires, empty the gas tanks, arrest the drivers, and move the trucks. This person is what we call an idiot. This person thinks that the best way to get trucks out of the way that aren't moving is to slash their tires, empty their gas tanks, and arrest their drivers. Do I need to explain more as to why this made it into my notes? This is the level of stupid. And she is at Harvard professor, oh Lord, CNN analyst, shocking, and CEO of Grip Mobility. Okay, so that's why I, felt the need to bring that up. Former Obama DHS Gov. So, yeah, real trustworthy gal there. Real smart, too. Real big in the brains. Real forward thinking. If you want... Now, if you move a truck, I have heard that the easiest way to get it from point A to point B is to not only arrest the driver, also empty the gas tank, because that'll make it lighter, and then you can just slash the tires and it'll just float wherever you need it to go. Yep. Government solutions for you. But we are going to end on a light note. I listened to a lot of Skillet in my day. If you aren't familiar with me or my history, I listened to a lot of Christian rock because that was what I was allowed to listen to as a child, and I really enjoyed Skillet. They were my favorite at the time, back in their heydays of, like, they were a Nirvana ripoff, and then they were a Manson ripoff, and now they're like a 3 Days Grace ripoff. No offense to them. They're doing their thing. It's not necessarily my cup of tea anymore. It's a little bit more radio-friendly, radio rock-ish than I typically prefer, but I don't care. It's just nice to see somebody that was a hero of mine as a child. Like, he was a hero of mine for, like, his faith and being outspoken and all that stuff, but it's so nice to see him now. Like, I've heard some people talking about this. I've heard some rumblings and some rumors, but I didn't actually look into it. John Cooper from Skillet went on Fox News to talk about not just his faith, but... I almost said more importantly, that's debatable. Standing by his principles of all this stuff that's going on in the world. And it brought a smile to my face. Like, I'm not even like a huge fan of their music or anything anymore. I like it. It's fine. It's just a little corny. That's all good. By the way, John Cooper, if you're out there, check your Instagram messages, bro. I reached out. Also, your email address, skillet@skillet.com. It's not working on your website, so maybe get that fixed so I can invite you on the show more properly and officially. And if you're listening to this, maybe just hit me up at dan@tsidpod.com. But yeah, John Cooper was on Fox and Friends. Share this with him if you know him, if you're familiar with him, tag him, whatever. Let's get him on the show to talk about this type of stuff. But really cool to see him basically being a protester, being against all this tyranny and this bullshit. So here's what he had to say. It's not going to work, of course it's not. Come on. You can do it. Come on, bub. Bro. All right. Come on. We might have to refresh here. Frickin' Fox and Friends or Fox News or whatever the hell. All right, we're not going to watch this whole thing.
You ever seen messages on...
No.
Planning on
No. Memorialplanning.com. Go to Memorial... Are you this old? Are you withered and dying like our president? Go to memorialplanning.com and make sure you've got your affairs in order. Make sure that Kamala Harris will step in as soon as you're dead tomorrow and be like this nice black couple as they pick out their plot. Memorialplanning.com, 888-211-4149, your trusted source for end-of-life planning. I'm not sure what's more entertaining, that or this. John Cooper from Skillet on Fox. Here we go.
If people don't take the risk now, you may lose your opportunity to take the risk. We were one of the first bands in the world to say we will not play vaccinated, mandated shows. I called my friend John Rich. I said, John Rich, am I crazy? And he said, yeah, you're crazy. You're the right kind of crazy that America needs. So I'm calling on artists for, number one, artists, wake up and realize that our integrity is on the line. Number two, Americans, wake up to freedom. Number three, church-going people that think this is all about politics. I don't want to get involved in this. I want to remind church people, this goes back to a legacy, not just in America, a legacy of the reformers that taught us that righteous government begins with self-government. We need to stand up. And last thing I'll tell you is this. Everybody needs to go buy Skillet Dominion. It rocks, and it is all about liberty.
Hack.
I'll tell you that. Tell them to go do it, Lawrence. Make it happen, brother.
John, I know you say it's not political, but I don't know anyone on the right, I don't know any conservatives or Republicans who are calling to censor anybody, not even their opponents. So it is political.
I mean, that's not entirely true, right? There's some right-wingers that are like, good, I'm glad, whatever, Aquafina is getting canceled or something stupid. We are going to talk about that at some point this week, too, because it's just kind of funny. But, yeah, cool that John Cooper is, on the right side of this, just because he's another one. There's not that many. There's so few, as far as, like, rockers who were, like, anti-establishment back in the day, who are now about as pro-authoritarian establishment as you could possibly be. Frickin' Rage Against the Machine is in favor of the machine these days. We've got, The Offspring, Newfound Glory, like, The Offspring, or no, which one was it? The Offspring that kicked out their drummer because he couldn't get the vaccine. Stuff like that. Just, it's so nice to hear people like Tom McDonald, High Res, Jimmy Levy, 5 Times August, speaking, people actually protesting that. Eric Clapton, and even now Skillet, John Cooper. So cool, good on him for, like, this is less cheesy to me than some of the lyrics that are in favor of the religious stuff that I also believe. This rings more bold even at this point, because you can say their entire career has been, he's never shied away from the Christian stuff, which I applaud him for, but now to continue with that and be bold in this messaging, not that this is necessarily more important than the religious whatever, doesn't matter, but this is, like, dangerous ground for somebody who's, like, wanting to be a radio, artist, for somebody who wants to, like, actually have fame and success in these days. This is about as ballsy and risky as you can be. I mean, there are attacks on faith and stuff like that in our culture right now, but that is much less attacked than just being anything that's anti-authoritarian at this point. That is, and like he says, which I love, he ties them together. Like, your freedom to do as you choose with your liberty is really, it's important. Sorry, I got distracted by the comments. I drifted off again. It's important for, like, if you believe in a higher power, if you believe that you were created for a specific reason and a purpose in this life by a God, then of course you being free to do as you choose, or as you were created for, and seek your own liberty to do so, it goes hand in hand. And if you think it doesn't, then I have to question your faith and your politics, I suppose. But carrying on.
Well, this is the thing. When I say rock in the free world, what I mean is this. I want to have the freedom to think and say what I believe, and I want you to have that same freedom whether I like what you have to say or not. It is a new secular puritanism that is trying to shut everyone out, and it is going to turn around and bite all of those people. So it's not political, I would say. I agree with what Lawrence said. It is about liberty. It is foundational. It is about first things. And in this country, we celebrate the government does not give me the right to free speech. That pre-exists government. That's right. That is self-government. And if we let that go, the whole experiment's going to fall apart. So artists, I just say this, rise up. If you don't like what somebody has to say, then come up with a better argument and do a better job saying it.
A frickin' men. Am I right? That deserves one of these, at the very least. Good on it. That's great. That's awesome to see somebody being ballsy today. So cool. I hope you've had a happy Valentine's Day. I hope this has started your week off right with some of the good, the bad, the ugly, and the fun, funny, whatever side of the news. Whatever this is that we do here, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for hanging out with me on this Monday post-Super Bowl Valentine's Day special celebration, something or other. I don't know. What do you think? What do you guys think? Let me know all the things on the Super Bowl. Do you think anybody cares about Eminem's super bold and daring political statement of taking a knee, which has been done 100,000 times at this point? I'm sure it changed somebody's mind out there, right? Somebody saw that and they were like, I never really thought of it that way, Mr. M. I guess I'll now stop being a racist. Like, what are you doing? Who cares? In my opinion, dude was trying to get some controversy, to try and get some clicks. That's it. That's all. And to make sure everybody knows, yeah, I support these people that I've always supported my entire life. Like, I don't think anybody's out there wondering, is Eminem a racist or does Eminem support Colin Kaepernick? These are the big questions that keep me up at night personally. But what do you guys think? Let me know. Dan at tsidpod.com. I think it's a fun time and a celebration with a bunch of elitist assholes that I probably wouldn't like in real life and wouldn't want to be. But I like the music, so cool. Drop me a line, Dan at tsidpod, or you can email, or you can leave a voicemail at 309-716-3818, or you can send me gifts to P.O. Box 84, Aledo, Illinois 61231. I do believe I have a gift waiting for me at the post office. I am 98% sure that it is there, and I'll probably be opening it on Wednesday, live on the air. So if it's Anthrax, you get to see me go down. We can do that together. But they might not all, since I keep talking like that, maybe they won't always be live, but usually I do those in the Downers Club. If you're not in the Downers Club, get in there. That's where we do the after parties. We're not doing one today because I got to roll, but yeah, after parties, all the extended stuff. We're recapping. We just finished recapping Boba Fett. We're recapping new South Park episodes with Brian McWilliams, Boba Fett with Mark Claire, after parties, all sorts of fun stuff over in the Downers Club. Get in there, become a part of the family. Get in there before Wednesday so I can get you in for the live after party, and you can see that as it happens, because a lot of people come in, or they try and sign up on the day of, and then I don't have time to actually go and get them into the group so that they can, you get it. But get in there now, and you'll be ready to go for Wednesday when we have Dave Casey on to dig into some more news and talk about some more Libertarian Party politics stuff, nonsense, fun things, all good stuff. Thank you for hanging. I'll talk to you guys Wednesday. I'm pretty sure. That's my guarantee to you. I'm pretty sure. Until then, please have a good one. Have a good Valentine's Day if you celebrate that sort of thing. Go hug your significant other and, hold them tight as the world burns around us. But as the world does burn, please keep laughing at it because, it brings me so much delight and it brings the king so much pain. So let's do that together. And until then, continue questioning everything and staying uncomfortable. Be bad, have fun. I'll talk to you then. Peace out. Bye-bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out and help us change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. And if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/thesystemsdown for bonus episodes of the show every single week. Until next time, please continue to question everything, stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks.
This has been a Goulash Media production. goulashmedia.net.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.